Shalom Mahmoud. That is a statement that came from the White House social media. Mahmoud Khalil was a radical foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University and has now rightly, absolutely been arrested. Now, of course, free speech is fundamental of American constitutional fabric, and nothing wrong with that. But when you're inciting violence, justifying terrorism, that is criminal behavior. But Trump has now gone on to say that there's more to come. This is just the start. He said in a new statement, following my previously signed executive orders, ICE proudly apprehended and detained Mahmoud Khalil, a radical foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University. This is the first arrest of many to come. We know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity, and the Trump administration will not tolerate it. Many are not even students, they are paid agitators. That's very suspect, by the way. We will find, apprehend, and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again. If you support terrorism, including the slaughtering of innocent men, women, and children, your presence is contrary to our national and foreign policy interests. You're not welcome here. We expect every one of America's colleges and universities to comply. Thank you. Good for the Trump administration. Absolutely. And by the way, there's also been talk about them. Well, they've said they're pulling $400 million in federal funding. And this is the approach we're going to have to take. You have to get tough on this kind of incitement to violence that threatens, intimidates Jewish students, a minority in America. It's just unbelievable. But one of the things that I find so interesting and want to pick up on is that, isn't it fascinating that it's the Ivy League institutions that are the biggest players here in this anti-Semitism? Harvard, Penn, Columbia. What is going on with that? In the words of George Orwell, I think it was him who said, only an intellectual could say something so stupid. It's amazing. This goes all the way back from Jewish philosophy to the Garden of Eden, where once you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, suddenly good and evil get mixed up, and our brain has the ability, through the evil temptation, to rationalize evil. In fact, I heard a rabbi say that rationalize can be broken down to rational lies, right? And that's what happens here. And it just goes to show that without divine wisdom, without fear of God guiding us, there is a deep, deep moral rot that is created where the basic understanding of reality, of good and evil, is lost. And I think that's one of the things we've seen in the aftermath of October 7th. And I think it cannot be ignored that the great institutions around the world, from the UN to the ICJ to celebrity culture to Ivy League colleges, we're seeing the moral bankruptcy there. All these idols I see as collapsing before our eyes. And we're realizing that there is not where we find basic morality. And we thought, colleges are meant to be this, the epitome of wisdom and insight. And we're not getting that there. So too, we're also not getting it from much of the religious world, which has shown either extremism or just also moral emptiness. And this is why I think the Jewish voice is so important now, because we do need a strong injection of divine wisdom and sanity, but it has to come from a place of genuine truth, balance, and Torah. So I think it's no accident that these things have been happening concurrently, both October 7th and the realization of the moral bankruptcy of so many of the institutions, the godless institutions of our age. God, I believe, is putting the magnifying glass on Israel and the Jewish people through all these events in order for us to fully come into our role, to be his moral voice to the world, to express the kind of vision for the world that he has through his Torah. As we say in our prayers, for out of Zion will go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Ki Metzion Teitzei Torah u'devar Hashem Mirushalayim.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.